After doing the topic, training should be able to define hospitality, they should know, update hospitality related terminologies, list parishes and capital, know resort areas, and tagline. Classify tourism, identify types of tourism, highlight attractions within the parishes, alright? So let us look at what is hospitality. And I'm going to be using a web to narrow down this. When we look at the word in terms of defining the word, it is to allow persons to feel welcome, to feel appreciated or acknowledged. And in so doing, it is the reception of guests. So to define hospitality, we can say it is the reception of guests. And we do this all the time. When your aunt leaves from the United States and come to Jamaica, you know that she's going to visit. You normally take out all the clean towels, the extra nice towels and crockeries, and ensure that your room is properly tidied. And you'll also try to ensure that you get up in the morning and ensure that they have breakfast. So even if you're a family that normally have an egg sandwich, you go out of your way to put the ackee and the saltfish and the bracken rundown and fried dumpling just to entertain your guests. And that is what we mean by the reception. So you're providing shelter, food, you allow them to have their basic needs in terms of electricity, water. You'll also take them to the shopping center and allow them to become familiar with the area so that they are able to travel on their own back and forth. And that is basically what hospitality is about, being accessible to basic needs. Alright, so we're going to look at the hospitality sectors. And now, the sectors are really basically categories for which the things that tourists will normally need. Alright, and we can call them department or industry, whichever you wish, but they are known as the sectors. And we talk about accommodation. So that is a place to stay. And this will be hotels, guest houses, motels, even your own household that you are entertaining that aunt in. Alright, we're going to look at food and beverage, F&B. Alright, let me write that out. Sorry. the hotel managers and so forth. We can also have cashiers. So right now you realize that the sectors will have different type of careers for persons to be employed. Alright? Alright, managers and so forth. We're going to look at front office. Alright, so for the front office, you will have receptionists, concierge, and the concierge is the person that is like at the information desk that will usually give you all information that you know that you need to know, and will probably give you assistance to direct you to an outside property, probably to find one of the attraction or one of the food places. They can also book a car rental for you and so forth. So they are the general go-to person for information. So they should know all information about the hotel and their services alongside entities within the environment that the hotel is. Right? So the concierge, that's their job. So you have bellman here as well, and the list goes on. So we want to look at shopping as another sector. And this is where the craft market comes in. Vendors, trade, people buy and sell, and nowadays we're doing all the online shopping and shipping and coming down, right? So that falls under that. Attractions, public sector, transportation, entertainment, alright. Alright, so under entertainment, this is where we entertain the guests on the compound, on the hotel property, or whether nightclubs or any party within the community that they would want to participate in. And that goes alongside what we call community tourism. Alright, so we'll have artists, dancers, entertainment coordinators, as careers. For attraction, we're talking about tour guides, they can have a public area attendant to clean the spaces. Can you have a seat and let's talk in, please? Thank you. Alright, the public sector will speak to all those in the public sector. And by right, tourists need to have access to those areas because they too need to do business with them. They may be overseas by Waterland in Jamaica, they need to go to land agency and so forth. Alright, so we give them access to everything. Alright, so transportation here. Transportation, we look at drivers, convention. Alright, so you may have servers there, hosts, coordinators, so coordinating events, coordinator slash planner, and that will basically wrap up what hospital is all about. One major factor that you can see here is that all the sectors are interrelated, right? So they depend on each other. So if you have a skill in housekeeping, it doesn't mean that you have to work on the accommodation only, because right here and then, for the entertainment, when parties are kept, then may want persons to clean up. And so for the attraction, it can be employed as a public area attendant at the attraction for cleaning the bathrooms and so forth. As a chef, yes, food and beverage, but when it comes down to entertainment and the meeting and convention, you can also be employed there as well. You can also be employed as a personal chef. So what happens is that each of these sectors, they interrelate, they depend on each other, all right, and support each other. Now we want to look at terminologies relating to hospitality. All right, so then some of the terminologies: duty of care, and this is basically caring for self and others. All right, and it is really legal matter where individuals need to care for themselves and others. And while others come in, they care for others, so you don't want anybody else to probably walk your path and make the same mistake. So you want to show them the pathway. Alright, if you have the understanding of how the particular job, you know that for the machine you have to unplug it before cleaning, and you see someone else cleaning it with plug in, then you will step in and say something for the duty of care. Alright, we talk about excursionists. So it's EXCUR. Alright, so excursionists, we talk about tourists, tourism. We look at visitor. So the excursionist is someone that travels from their usual place of residence for less than 1 day, so less than 24 hours. So they return back home and sleep at home. Alright? So this is you leaving Kingston, going on a field trip to Montego Bay or Ocho Rios. Field trip ends at 5 and you travel back, you get home back about 7. You will end up staying at home. If it's a case where you stay over a night or 2, you become a visitor. Alright? So you don't just go to experience that day's activity, you stay over, so you become a visitor. Now a tourist is a person that travels from their usual place to another destination for business or pleasure. I always say business, it can be work related. So your workplace send you on a training, or they send you to work at another location in another country, and so you are a tourist there while you work. Alright, you can also travel for pleasure. You're on vacation, or you were going to visit a family. It may not be a 1 month or 2 week vacation, but it may be a 2-day, as they went to attend a wedding. Alright, so that's a tourist. The tourism now is the process. So it is the movement of people. Alright? And we can further break down tourists and tourism to look at some different type of tourism. So we have ecotourism, that is looking at the environment. So persons travel for the purpose of the environment. They want to go to Fern Gully and see why it is called Fern Gully, why it's only ferns are mostly found there in Jamaica. They want to look at the ecosystem, the biodiversity of that environment, why is it cooler than other places in the country. Alright, we want to look at community tourism. And this is when activities are held within the community and the community benefits from those activities. Alright, persons will travel from abroad or different parts of the country to participate in those activities. I was talking about some of those festivals are jazz and blues. We want to look at probably something more local, the Weddy Wednesday. Freaky Friday,
Morsey Tuesday,
Soca. Where's the Grand what?
Grand Stadium, Grand Prix, when they run.
Grand Prix at Stadium. Alright, our clubs, some clubs and society held within a community based on a school or support. So what happens is that when these functions or these activities are being planned, they invite persons to come within the community. Alright, so you buy a ticket. You buy a ticket to go to the event. So on the day when you go to the event, you are going to be supporting that event. The ticket is already bought. You go, you want a water, you buy a water, you want some jerk chicken, you buy a jerk chicken. So each vendor is going to be supported by you. So that is money from outside of the community coming within the community. Alright, it is known as a ripple effect. And the ripple effect we're talking about everybody within the community gaining from this activity. Alright, so if you notice at stadium when we have Gangala or some of those events, you all from outside of that vicinity cannot go and just sell. You can't just put up a stall or walk with your peanuts and sell. They're going to run it out. Alright, so it has to be persons from within the community that get access to do that. And once they get them little partner or they go borrow the little money, they go 10,000, buy them stuff and so, and they're selling. When they gain, the community also gain because they don't have to go beg them neighbor no sugar. They can go buy them sugar, right? So what happened is that everybody within the community benefits, and they will not allow you from outside to come and sell and get that little money, and they are left hanging. Alright? At these particular time when these events are being held, you find less persons taking out their finger on the roadside. Alright? They're more quick to say, alright, go downtown, go buy some something so they can hustle on the day of the event. Alright? So, ripple effect. It also builds the community. They are no longer dependent on their neighbor or friend or to go rob somebody because it gives them an avenue to earn. Some of these persons within the community do not know what else to do. Alright? Because they're born and conceived. The mother that sell on school gate, them auntie sell at the next school gate down the road, and so the generation, and so they don't know what else to do. Alright, so they benefit from these activities. And also it may be from that community that you have a person to do the decor for the event, and put up the balloon arch and everything. So every little body gets a little change. The jerk chicken man, the lady, a young man come out and him run a little bar. At that event, he makes a little money. And if you notice, the price is always double. When you go Gangala, a $100 peanut cake is $300.
5 bills.
Right? So they use the opportunity to make all of what they're not making for the rest of the year. Alright? What else? So we look at every event or every reason that you travel for is actually a tourism or a type of tourism. So if you travel for sports, say like track and field, and when you have Penn Relay or Miami Heat and those things, you follow it up and you go wherever the meets are being held, then you become a sports tourist, alright, which fall under sports tourism. And so if you travel for educational purpose, it is also educational tourists, for medicinal tourists or tourism. Alright, so that narrows that down. We want to look at now the parishes in the country. So we have 14 parishes and we have the capitals for them. Alright, I'm going to give you that as an assignment. So I won't be going through that this evening or this afternoon. But what we're going to look at now is the resort area. So now we know that all the parishes in Jamaica have at least one attraction. Alright? So the areas that are the tourist resort areas are places that have multiple attractions or they have excessive living condition, meaning running water, electricity, proper road. They have hotels and so invested in their parishes, so they are now known or deemed by Jamaica Tourist Board as resort area. Now Jamaica Tourist Board markets Jamaica for what it has. So the parishes that have the beaches and the falls, they market those parishes for those activity or the rafting, whichever it is. And TPDCO, which still work under the Ministry of Tourism, they deal with quality. So they deal with quality assurance. So they will ensure that the products that Jamaica Tourist Board is offering or marketing Jamaica for out there in the world, it is of a standard. So they will close down beaches if they don't have proper running water or a good bathroom, or if it is polluted. Alright, and they also work alongside NEPA. Good. In the sea world, you have what we call blue flag. So if the sea lets out its waves too close to the shore, then they will put out an alarm and they will say, okay, nobody can go in the water because it's polluted and so forth. So they have a designated area in the midst of the deep sea that they can let out their waste. Alright? Go Green is also a part of the NEPA and the TPDCO initiative in terms of ensuring that we reduce global warming. It has been going on for a while, but it is getting more and more now, and we can see evidence. Anybody know Elsha?
Yeah.
Alright, so Elsha was a big popular beach in Portmore. Now it's no longer a beach, but that's sightseeing, because they can only go there to eat food and probably just walk on the sand. There's no more shore. Alright, the water has come over. So that are some of the areas. So resort areas. So we talk about Montego Bay. Mandeville and the South Coast. Remember they go on and on. Big Grill, Portland, it's more important to me, but that's fine. Ocho Rios, so I want to put Saint on here. Alright, Kingston. Alright, so each of these areas are given taglines, and the tagline is basically describing the area for what it is. So we'll talk about Montego Bay. It is the complete resort. They have everything: the hospital, the airport, all the attractions from natural to man-made, hotels, they have the party, nightlife, all of that. So they are known as the complete resort. Alright, Mandeville on the South Coast. When you're traveling to Mandeville, you realize that Just driving, driving, driving. All you see is greenery. Keep going. All you see is greenery. And based on that, it seems like you're just going nowhere. It's like it's in the wilderness. But when you get to the south coast, which is St. Elizabeth side, from Alan Bambo down to St. Elizabeth, Poros back to St. Elizabeth, you realize that you'll find some more attractions and then more activities can be done. So they are named off the beaten track. Right? Alright, and note that St. Elizabeth, which is the south coast part of it, was known in history as the breadbasket, the parish that will generate most food, or you can get all food items from that parish. Alright, Nigel is known as the capital of casual. Pants and t-shirt type of and slippers. So the 9 miles long beach, most of the entities don't read, that's how big it is. Alright, so you wouldn't find purses in spike and jacket and tie, sort of thing. Alright, so we look at Portland, it is known as natural atmosphere or naturalism. Alright, and that is based on the fact that the environment gives you that natural feel. If you live in Kingston, when you leave Kingston and go to Portland, once you touch Portland, it's a different feeling, a different breeze. Alright? And the atmosphere is different. Ocho Rios, which is in St. Anne, it is known as the Garden Parish or the centerpiece. If you notice, the stretch of hotels in that area, you have a lot of garden, you have a lot of parks, and on the sidewalk, the landscape is always well kept. Alright, so it is centerpiece.
Center of attraction.
And then when we look at Kingston, it is known as night.
Life.
Nightlife or heartbeats of living. Alright, we look at the classification of tourism already when we were talking about ecotourism and community tourism. And we identify identify tourism. We also highlight, so in the parishes we said that there are attractions. So if you know St. Elizabeth side, it's Lovers Leap, White Falls, we have Little Ochi down there, which is a little beach setting with a little restaurant, a little fish and festival and so forth. We also have all the towns in all the parishes are historic attraction sites. If you notice, they will have a clock, they have brick wall foundation, they also have that little roundabout sort of setting in the parishes. Alright, we look at Montego Bay, we have Rose Great House, we have Potosico Beach, we have Margaritaville, right? And we have a lot of hotels, beaches, Baskerville, Sandals, etc. Portland, we have Blue Hole, we have, what else we have in Portland? Beach Falls, alright, and we have the forest itself is an attraction.
Rio Grande.
Ocho Rios, we are looking at Duns River Fall, Conecuh Fall, we're looking at Chaka Cove, we have beaches, hotel, alright, Fern Gully, and so forth. Negril, the stretch of 7 mile beaches, that really itself is an attraction. we have Ritz Cafe, we have the Lighthouse as well, and some other historic sites. And if you notice, all the churches, those Anglican or historic church, are also attractions within the parishes. Kingston, so we can start in Port Royal, we have the Giddy House, alright, we have Morgan Harbour, we have the Fort Charles, alright, we have Emancipation Park, Never Knows, okay, we also have Bob Marley Museum and places like that. So, attractions on a whole though are categorized into three main headings. So you have natural attractions, those are rivers, the sea, the falls, those that are naturally a part of the land. When you look at the man-made attraction, the example of those would be the hotel, the nightclubs, the Margaritaville, and those places that are built by individuals. When we look at historic attractions can either be natural or man-made, as it can be a building that has become historic, like the Giddy House or the Rosal Great House. Alright? Natural places that would have become historic sites are like the Green Grotto Cave, the Twin Sister Cave. It is down in history. The Flat Bridge is also history and it has now become a historic site. Alright, historic attraction. Alright, so we'll stop here for today. The next time we visit or we have a lesson, we'll talk about some more details into hospitality. But before we go, the hospitality is divided into three areas. Three main areas, but we talk about commercial and non-commercial. So for commercial, it is entities that they are in business to make a profit. Alright? The non-commercial are not necessarily in business to make a profit. However, it is further broken down into two. On the non-commercial, where you find institutional and industrial. Now, industrial will make a little, but they are not necessarily in the business to make money. So we talk about some of the government entities, tax office, police station, and some of those places. Institutional wise now, it is organizations that they are not in the business, none at all to make money. It is just for support services. So we talk about prison, state of the ward, children home, right? Those places that are just for support system. Alright, so we're gonna leave it there and we'll pick up next class. Thank you.
Continue.
I'm finished.